We are extremely pleased that you are here. It is good to come together for the purpose of co-creating. Do you agree? Yes. Do you know what you want? Do you know why you are here? It's good to focus there right now because it's part of the mix and there's a lot going on in here. You've come for your contribution, and it's a big one. You've come for your collective cooperation. That's big with this group. You've come for clarification, in some cases for soothing, in every case for expansion, not just your personal expansion, but expansion for all that is, because there has never been this combination of physical and non-physical before. This is unique to this moment. And that feeling of wanting to be here is your recognizing the calling of your inner being to this important place. A culmination, not the culmination. There's not an ending to that which you are. You are eternal beings. This is just another jumping off place into more clarity. Yes? We know that you are understanding to a large extent what this is all about. We are wanting to remind you of some things that it's not so much that you have forgotten them because you didn't intend to remember them. You didn't say, I'll remember all of these things and when I get there then they will serve me. Instead you said, I'll go because I know what that's all about. And moment by moment, I will be inspired to my next step and my next and my next. And you knew that there were no wrong steps. You knew there was never an end to you, so you knew you would never get it done. And because you knew you would never get it done, you knew you would not be getting it wrong. You knew that before you got here, and then some who were here who had not quite reconnected with that knowing, and a lot don't. You know, when you're physically focused, when you're physically focused, look who we're talking to. We know when you're physically focused that what you're observing gets most of your transmitting, most of what you are focused upon, and therefore most of what you are vibrationally emitting, and therefore most of what you are vibrationally attracting is because of what you are observing. And that's logical because your physical senses are really, really good. Your physical senses give you the ability to translate vibration into visual, vibration into audio, vibration into touch and taste and smell. And you're so good at doing it, you don't even realize that you are a vibrational interpreter. If you weren't, you couldn't perceive being here. None of it would be of any consequence to you. But you are a species who came specifically for focus. And we want you to know you came for deliberate focus. You came because you understood that you're a creator and you knew that this environment, this time and space, which would help you to focus, not just nebulous and forever, but a focused time and a focused space would help you to rein in your attention and therefore understand what was happening because of your attention to it. You knew that you're a creator when you got here, and we're here to help you implement that powerful decision that you held when you made the decision to come into this physical body. You knew that all of you didn't come. We don't mean all of you as in a different part of this crowd is somewhere else. We mean as individuals, a part of your focus is here and a larger part of your focus remains non-physical. Humans call that soul, and collectively they call that source or God. But we call it your inner being. It's that non-physical part of you that is aware of everything that you're about while you are here. So as your focus is here, what you give your attention to causes you to offer a vibration. And in many cases, you come to such a habit of focus that you come to believe, Because when you focus, you offer a vibration, and when you offer a vibration, you attract something that matches it. So your focus keeps showing to you what you're focused about, and that's how human beliefs come about. Right, wrong? None of that is considered from non-physical. It's creation from vantage points that serve other vantage points. In other words, the more diverse you are in your vantage points, the more opportunity you as a creator have to use the colors on the palette in order to create something of your choosing. And so many humans don't understand that it's that way. So often you believe that you're here to fulfill someone else's intention, not understanding that you're here to create your own, not understanding that you are a creator with the skills and with the ability, and most important for you to hear, with the deservability, with the worthiness to be or do or have whatever it is that you choose. But there are a lot of you around, and you give a lot of attention to what's going on around, and so you have a lot of opinions, and many of your opinions as partners in this human race, many of your opinions are about what you think is wrong, what you would like to go away. And that works against you because there's a big flawed premise there. There's a misunderstanding, because this is a universe based upon attraction. Everything is. So there's no such thing as no. When you shout no at something you don't want, you're actually saying, come to me, this thing I do not want, because there is only attraction. And once you come to understand that, once you come to understand that that is what your inner being, that larger part of you, is always doing. When you know what you don't want, there is an implied or an understood, or sometimes you speak it right out of your mouth, what you do want. And in every case, your inner being knows what you want based upon where you are and what experience you're having. And in every case, your inner being turns undivided attention to the wanted and spends no time focused upon the unwanted. And that is the best explanation that we could ever give you about why you ever feel a negative emotion. You feel a negative emotion when you are focused not in concert with your inner being. Therefore, you feel negative emotion anytime you're pushing against anything instead of advocating for something. You feel negative emotion when you are shouting no, when your opinion is wrong, not just, inappropriate. And that feels confusing to many people because you've spent a lot of time sorting and sifting amongst each other, trying to decide what is right behavior and what is wrong behavior, while all along your inner being, that which is source, is calling you to this path of most allowance. The path of most allowance, which is allowing the most of you to be focused right here and now. And who that is clarity and love and well-being and understanding and appreciation and balance and thriving and prospering and knowing unequivocally your worthiness. So we're going to chew it all over today, as much as you want to chew it over from whatever vantage point you want to chew it over. We just want you to know what we know about you. We know that you are source energy, and that we know you are in physical bodies, and we know you came with great purpose, and we know for sure that you want to feel good, that you get to feel good, that you're supposed to feel good, and that there's nothing serious going on here. This is not saving the world from anything. The world does not need to be saved. This is you finding your more steady path to the joyous being that you were born to be, you see. And in doing so, you will help, you will uplift, you will teach through the clarity of your example. But your words aren't the way to make it happen. Contradicting anyone about what they're intending in the moment or what they're understanding, that path of least resistance is a wily thing, isn't it? In other words, path of least resistance, path of most allowance, it is the same conversation. Let's say you're getting in your vehicle and you're on your way. You're going to go across the desert. You're on your way to the Super Bowl. And as you head out, there's a bridge closure or a mudslide. There's something that prevents your path. Well, the path of most allowance is an ever-changing thing. It doesn't mean don't go. It just means try a different path. It doesn't mean that your intention was wrong. It just means that your intention will be better satisfied by following inspiration that takes you over and under and up and around in path of least resistance. So often when you feel stymied or hindered, you question, oh, I must be headed toward the wrong thing. And we say, all that has happened is that some beliefs or opinions that you've been holding are in your way and not allowing you the in this moment path, but it doesn't mean that the path is blocked. It just means that the path of least resistance has moved for you, for your benefit. And so we're just going to say one more phrase to you. I want you to hear this, and then we'll open it to whatever you want to talk about. Your inner being knows where you stand in terms of creating your life, where you stand in relationship to everything that you want, and knows how to call you, and here's the key phrase, how to call you around and over, call you around your resistance. Your inner being knows what your resistances are and doesn't spend any time adding to them by focusing on them, even though you are. Your inner being just keeps calling you through the path of least resistance. And that's why sometimes you become so frustrated, because there's something that you want and you keep feeling held up, and then you try to give up like you could give up a desire. Good luck with that. Like you could have lived all of that life and sifted through all of that data and launched all those rockets of desire, and all those vibrations could have gathered in your vibrational reality where your inner being is. And your inner being is focused upon all of these desires from a knowing of no resistance whatsoever. And cooperative components have already been gathered so that the seed is in the soil and so much is underway already. And you think that you could just say, never mind, because it's hard, or because you've got resistance that you didn't know that you had that's keeping you from moving easily to it. Your inner being is going to call you to who you are, never-endedly. And who you are is capable and deserving and love. And so we don't think that there's a good reason for you to hold back from who you are. We think there's every good reason for you to let yourself be who you are. And it's so much easier than you think it is once you get the hang of this just a little bit.